Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Rise and Slay Morning Show. I am your host, Rochelle Slay Queen Hemingway, CEO and founder of Slay to Success. So, y'all, this is a great morning. If you are here, I welcome you to the show in this space tonight or today. It is the day, y'all, because I just got finished with my workout. It was absolutely amazing. Got a 45-minute boot camp in on the treadmill, lifting weights. So, let's go. Okay, let's go. Good morning, Mosaic Sparks. How are you today? What is happening? What is going on with you all? Okay, I love it. Thank you for being here with us this morning. And guess what, y'all? This is the day, okay, that we get to set aside some time to really talk about building your brand beyond the military. So, for anyone who has ever been affiliated with the military, this is a show, the episode to watch. All right. So, if you are not here, but if you come back for the replay, you can put in hashtag replay so that way you can watch the full episode. Today, y'all, I'm feeling so good. Okay, I feel so good. And I want to talk about embracing our new identity after military service. So, slay, y'all, means to kill it, to dominate, and to nail it, to be on point, to impress greatly, to dream big and work hard until you own it. It is also an acronym. It stands for life and leadership philosophies that really resonated with me the most, that really package in my core values, something that I have learned time and time again over my military service. That is stay ready to be ready, lead out loud, a sense of community, a sense of family, and knowing you are built to last. So if you are here and you would love to say that you're here, okay, please make sure that you do so that way I can give you a proper shout out. Because on the Rise and Slay Morning Show, this is where we are going to dig in a little bit deeper. So, as you know, I am a professional keynote speaker, I am an image consultant, I am a personal brand expert, I am a 3-time author, and a United States Air Force veteran of 30 years. Huh? So, welcome on into the show. So, let me just talk to you all a little bit about embracing your identity after military service. For anyone who is transitioning from military service within the next 1 to 2 years, stay to the end so that I can tell you about the exciting opportunity that I have, that I created, that you can be a part of. So, stay to the end so that way you can get the information. So, as you know, and some of you may not know and may be new to the show, I spent 3 decades in the United States Air Force, and I rose to the rank of Command Chief Master Sergeant, and I served at Ellsworth Air Force Base. So if you want to go ahead and look up Ellsworth Air Force Base, feel free to do so. They have an incredible mission. They are the largest B-1 bomber aircraft squadrons, wings in the United States Air Force. And so let me tell you, when I transitioned out of the military and took this uniform off, okay, and I took it off, and it was like my second skin because I had worn it for 30 days. And the last, I would say 12, 15 years of my career, I truly was on call 24/7, meaning I was woke up in the mornings, sometimes early mornings, had to go into work, reporting to work, making sure everyone else was doing what they were supposed to do too. It wasn't all about me, it was about we. And I had to take a look at myself in the mirror after I transitioned and ask myself, how am I going to do this civilian life? I don't even know what I'm doing. I have zero clue on how to move forward. I knew that I didn't want to go right into a 9 to 5. I knew that I wanted to spend more time with my family. I knew that I wanted to make a difference in the world and do something different, but I didn't know the how. That was that was the question, if you will. So I wanted to know, like, now what? Who am I without this uniform on? And leaving the military felt like I was losing part of myself and suddenly beginning to navigate without a map. Um, I didn't have a rule book to live by that I had lived by for decades. The world felt a little bit bigger. It was a little bit scarier. And standing there thinking to myself, how do I fit into this? Where is my place in the world? Um, so a few years before I retired, I started to notice a little bit of a shift for me. I started to see that my uniform wasn't really my identity. I had a rack of ribbons, of course. I went and deployed. I deployed 5 times, y'all, 5 times during my 30-year career. So I had the accolades. I had the Merit of Legion awards. I had all these things. And the one thing that I just knew I needed more of was courage. I had courage throughout my 30 years, and I know how to lead. Okay, I can lead a lot of people, or I can lead a small number of people, right? But I just needed to know what that next chapter was going to look like for me. And I realized that I had to do some steps. So I'm going to share with you a few of the initial steps that I did to get to where am right now. And it's been almost 3 years since I retired from the Air Force. And yes, I had doubts. I had these, these ideas about what am I going to do, and I didn't know if anyone would ever really recognize the value in my experience. Would I be able to lead myself and make an impact the way that I did in the Air Force? Those were kind of the thoughts. But then I had to learn how to embrace my new identity, not as a former command chief, master sergeant, but as a leader, as a mentor, and an empowering force for other women veterans. So I took the uniform off. I looked in the mirror and I said, okay, Rochelle, what is it that you need to start with to get on your new path? Yes, love that, as courage is a muscle. Yes, it is. You have to be able to use it. You have to be able to step into it. And I really found myself doing that. And I didn't know that I was actually doing it until I started to see what I was doing, like moving around here in the DMV. So, y'all, I'm in here in Maryland. And if you don't know what DMV is, it's the District of Columbia, Maryland, and Virginia. And the radius is a small radius, but there's a lot of people out here and the traffic is ridiculous. So maneuvering between these three particular areas can be a little bit challenging, can be a little bit frustrating. And you do have to have a lot of courage to step out there because it's a lot. There's a lot going on. You could be here, you could be there, and you could be everywhere. So the first thing that I did was go into my closet, y'all. And this is, again, this is how I became an image consultant, all right, a certified image consultant. Because even though before, when I was in the military, I was starting to see that I was changing a little bit about my appearance, when I looked into my closet as I was unpacking boxes when we moved here, I saw that I had khaki pants, polo shirts, and a lot of blue, a lot of brown, and a lot of khaki. I mean, it was unreal because when you're in military service and you get to these higher leadership roles, you go to networking events, like community events after work, you have to wear particular types of clothing to kind of fit in, the environment. And so I had all these different pieces that really wasn't speaking to me anymore. I was like, that is not really truly who I am. At my core, I am a free, like carefree. I love to do like adventurous things. I'm bubbly. I smile a lot. Um, I I have this different type of thinking. I have a different mindset. So I wanted to make sure that was reflective on what I was actually wearing. So I took on the visual identity first. That it was the first step. So from head to toe, I changed my hair. Okay, I had my hair pulled back into a bun. I slicked it down for any of the girls that are still or women that are still in the military. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, I had a relaxer, a hair relaxer. I relaxed my hair every 6 months, pulled it back, gelled it down, had a bun, and that was the way that I wore my hair for like 12, 15 years straight. All right. There was no deviations unless we were going to an event. I pulled it up, I put a ponytail on, and I was out the door. So when I retired, I started looking up in Pinterest and looking at what other people in my new environment were wearing, and I decided, you know what? I am going to change my hair. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to bring a little bit more of who I am, which, y'all, I call myself the Slay Queen. I've been affectionately titled that or called that because I just had this inside of me. I knew that I wanted to do things different. So I started with my hair, then I started with my makeup, then I started with my nails, and then I have these clothes. So my clothes, I have built my wardrobe. My signature color, as you all know, is pink. So that is what I am using. And I started to use all these different ways to show up differently. And it really has given me the focus that I needed so that way I can really go back to my truest self. So, personal branding is about being your true authentic self, your most authentic self, in four different areas: in your appearance, in your behaviors or body language, your communication skills, and your digital presence. So I took this on and said, okay, that's the first thing. I'm going to change the way that I look. Now, it has evolved over the past 2 years and it will continue to evolve because your brand should be refined and reviewed and looked at over and over again, making sure that it is consistent, all right, giving the message that you want to convey to your audience and how you want to show up in this world. So it will continue to do that for me, I know. Now, the next thing that I said, and I got my notes here, is my communications. Okay. Um, I can talk in jargon and acronyms all day. In the military, the acronyms are extensive and it's a culture. It is the way that we speak. And when I retired and I started to network in more the um, civilian environments, I don't even know what other word to describe it as, but I just decided that I wanted to break down or break out of the acronym because no one knew what I was talking about. I remember going to my first networking event and I was talking about PCS, permanent change of station. So I was like, yeah, I PCS like 10 times, 11 times. I TDY'd, a gazillion times. People didn't know what I was talking about. They were like, huh? And so I was like, oh my gosh, I need to change the way that I communicate. But I also realized that I am a communicator. Okay. So again, before I retired during the pandemic, I was doing lives. So I decided here after I retired that I'm going to build my brand by communicating. This is how I wrote my first book. My first book is titled Slay to Success. It is right here. I'm trying to point to it here. It is right here. Okay. Slay to Success. And I just wanted to express what I had gone through over my 30 years to help other women who are in leadership roles, who are navigating spaces that don't necessarily give them the opportunity to succeed. I wanted to inspire them, to motivate them, to encourage them, to keep going. All right. And so I was challenged by one of my mentors to write out a book of my story. And so that's how that was created. But then I realized, even though I don't read a lot of books, y'all, I mean, I do, but I don't. You know what I mean? I don't ever read a book from start to finish, especially if it's a long book, because I get overwhelmed. So I have to break it down into chapters or break it down into pages. And I decided that I wanted to do this because I needed a way to decompress. And it was the first start after I retired to build my brand. Because from the book, as you can see, okay, and let me just take it off of here. Do you see this mannequin here? I had no idea what was happening in the moment. This picture was taken at J.C. Penney's. I took all these props. This is a prop, okay? This is a metal frame or metal sketch of sleigh that I was given by my team that I worked with at Luke Air Force Base, and it was hanging in my office when I was at Ellsworth Air Force Base. But at Luke, this is where they gave it to me at, right? This podium here, I got from Hobby Lobby and I sprayed it gold. This is a mannequin that I got from Hobby Lobby. Again, I didn't know really in the moment what was happening until literally the other day. This dress, okay, I knew I wanted it to be pink, but I didn't know how all of this would come together. And I love fashion. I love bright colors. I definitely live by sleigh every single day. So, in your journey, you need to really pay attention. When you transition, what are the interests? What are your passions? What are the things that are speaking to you the most? And I decided to start communicating through books. I have two other books. They're personal branding books. They're not here on my shelf here or anything like that. But I know where I'm going and what I want to do. And then this next chapter, and I'm just allowing myself to go through the motions. All right. This isn't the time to shrink back, y'all. All right. This isn't the time to shrink back. This is a time to stand tall, to present yourself with confidence in every room you're walking into, whether it's a job interview, a networking event, or back into a boardroom somewhere. You've got something that no one else has. You have a story, you have experience, you have a unique value. So why not own it? I owned it. I even got questioned, all right, when I showed this book cover to one of the women that I was working with at Ellsworth, and she says, "What is that mannequin doing there on that podium? What is that all about?" And I just said, "I don't know. I like it. I don't know. It's just what I like." And then I realized, wow, it was a thought that had been pushed back into my mind. I think it was very subconscious. And I just gravitated to it and I've held on to it. So if you're worried about what other people are going to think or how they're going to take you, I'm here to tell you that you can do whatever you want. The next time you look in the mirror, I want you to say, who is this incredible person staring back at me? And then answer and say this out loud because this is what I say. She's a leader, she's a warrior, and she's ready to slay this next chapter. Okay, again, the next time you look in the mirror, I want you to say this. Who is this incredible person staring back at me? She's a leader, she's a warrior, and she's ready to slay this next chapter. Because we can go into doubt mode all day. That's why I created the Introduction to Personal Branding workshop. I want other women to know I have the same doubts and the same challenges as you do. Hey, Lydia. You're welcome. You know what? I just realized, as you know, that the journey in military is like no other. And we are a very small percentage of the world. And we weren't just transitioning from one job to another. We're really transitioning from a part of our identity that has been deeply ingrained into something new and unknown. And the real challenge isn't the new job, the new career, the new business. It's really about finding the confidence to present ourselves in a way that truly reflects who we are and what we've accomplished. So, congratulations, my queen, on your journey, for your service. Don't let anyone take that away from you. And you know you are not done. Okay? You are not done. Oh my gosh, we are international. We are international. Hey, Scott, what's happening? What's going on? Tuning in from Botswana. A lot of this hits home. So, y'all, Lydia and Scott were both at Luke Air Force Base with me at a time where it was a lot of turmoil. And I'll tell you what, I had to really dig deep. I learned a lot. All right. And I'm so grateful I had an opportunity to share with both of you. So thank you for both being here live with me this morning. I'm so happy that you are doing well. And Botswana, Scott is a world traveler. He is just out there, y'all. If you have not been following him, go to his YouTube channel, okay, and follow him. He is visiting all types of the world, and I absolutely love that he's doing that. So thank you for your service, Scott. And I appreciate you being here. And of course, Mosaic Sparks, Leslie says, yes. You know, we are the world's greatest treasure. And it's about really unlocking our unique value and showing the world that extraordinary leaders like we are, no matter what uniform we're wearing. And if we're not wearing a uniform, it doesn't make you less than. We're going to work together, okay? This is how we're going to move in this journey. We working together. We're showing everyone that we can do this, all right? But it's just more than about personal branding. And when I created Introduction to Personal Branding for women veterans who are transitioning from the military like within the next 1 to 2 years, I want to help them to rebuild their confidence. It's about honoring our past while embracing our future. We're not just a veteran, okay? Again, we are leaders, we're warriors, we are forces to be reckoned with, and we deserve to walk into rooms, every rooms with assurance that we belong there and that we can bring something unique and something valuable. So First initial steps, again, like I said, for me was in my closet, okay? Rebuilding my wardrobe, looking at my visual identity, and really connecting to pieces of clothing that speak truly to who I am. I feel great. I feel amazing, but I also feel like I have conquered so many obstacles. All right. And so I want to be able to share and connect with those that have done the same. And also, as a communicator, I've written books, right? I'm here on a show because I do like to do lives. I have another show called Slate to Success that's on Sunday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time where I bring in a guest because I love to communicate. I am a professional keynote speaker. I have certifications in that. And so I know for me, this is where I'm supposed to be. And the last thing is activity. Have to get in activity. We have to be doing some things that for us to way we can find. So I like to talk about dream dabble do. Dream dabble do. Like what is it that you're very passionate about? What are your interests? How can you explore these different areas? One of the ways that you can do that is volunteer. I volunteer at certain locations because I just want to see whether or not I continue to like it. And I try out different things all the time. I go to networking events, I go to dinners, I go to events, I go to different places that I have never been before because I think when I'm in motion and when I'm in activity, I really start to really explore the edges. I really start to see how much I can stretch myself into these uncomfortable positions, right? I need to grow. I need to learn. I need to develop. I need to do a lot of things, all right, in this next chapter that I didn't get a chance to really do while I was in military service. So I invite any woman who is transitioning from the next 1 to 2 years to my introduction to personal branding workshop that I'm going to have tomorrow night. And it's going to start at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's virtual. It is a small investment. I'm not breaking wallets, all right, or purses. That's not what this is all about. But I do want to help you to get to a point where you can start to amplify, all right, who you are. And we're going to be bridging the gap between military and civilian life, giving you the tools to confidently step into whatever it is that you want to step into. And in this market, all right, I know this is very competitive out here. People are vying for different roles, positions, careers. And this is not about changing who you are. This is really about getting back to who you are and really showcasing what you have to offer. So don't let this uniform thing about, if it's coming off in the next 1 to 2 years, make you feel like you've lost anything. You've gained something. You've gained the opportunity to redefine who you are, to honor your past. All right. So again, if you're worried about doing this alone, don't be, because we're in this together. I'm here. I have sisters in community. This workshop will be part of your tribe. We've been where you are. We've come out on the side stronger, fiercer, and more unstoppable than ever. All right. So this is about rocking this new chapter. And like I say, slaying in your new chapter. So first of all, first initial steps that I did was the visual part. Now it's communication and then get into activity. If you want to learn more about personal branding and some real concrete strategies, some actionable strategies you can start to do today, please make sure that you continue to follow this thread. And I will put the link so that you can sign up and RSVP. So that way you can be part of something bigger, greater, and let's get on this journey together. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here with me this morning. I had Mosaic Sparks, Lydia, and Scott, and we had International. And so I just want to leave you encouraged, inspire, empower yourself, ignite your success. So keep on slaying until you can't slay no more. And I will see you all very soon. Love y'all. Bye-bye.